Yes.
Hello, this is Donald Trump from Mr. Cohn. Thank you so much.
Donald who?
Roy Cohn, nice to meet you.
You Roy Cohn from all the papers? Yeah, you're brutal.
Guilty as charged.
Roy Cohn is a crook. He's been indicted 3 times.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. People, they hire me because I'm a winner.
How do you win?
The first rule is the simplest. Attack, attack, attack.
It's going to be the finest building in the country. In the world. It's going to be spectacular.
Rule 2, admit nothing, deny everything.
You think you can beat the U.S. government?
Rule 3, no matter what happens, you claim victory and never admit defeat. I record everything in case I need it.
Well, that's illegal.
You have to be willing to do anything to anyone to win.
There are 2 types of people. There are winners and there are losers.
Leverage and have debt up to your ears.
I know what I'm doing.
Hello, my name is Michael Morley, and I'm here to review The Apprentice, directed by Ali Abbasi, starring Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump. This is literally him in his younger days when he is not the Donald Trump that we know today. He's surprisingly more sensitive and timid. In this movie, it's like he is a different person. He is youthful, he is young, he is kind, he has feelings. He cares about other people. Clearly, Donald does care about people, but he has a massive ego, but it's so different. It's almost like, is this really Donald Trump? He is at the start of his real estate career. This is before he gets Trump Tower, before he makes a big franchise for himself, before he starts buying motels and becomes the president of the United States. He is literally starting from square one. He has a family. His father is literally really hard and tough on him. I didn't even know that Donald Trump lived in Queens. I thought he lived a very high life, but Queens is actually kind of the poor area of New York. So he did live in style, but he lived in style in Queens. He just had a big vision, a massive vision, and he ends up meeting this lawyer played by Jeremy Strong, who plays Roy Cohn. Now, this guy literally is the Donald Trump in the flesh of who he meets. He wants to be this guy. He basically admires this guy. He looks at him and that's basically him, like, I want to be that guy. That is the person I want to be. Donald Trump just completely is a simp for this guy. He's one of the most ruthless lawyers in New York, and he begs him, can you please, he's being sued, and he wants to have him to defend him in court, because he is one of the best, or if the best lawyer in New York. Him becoming like an alliance, gaining a friendship with Roy Cohn and learning from him, and it's almost like Charlie Sheen and Michael Douglas in Wall Street, learning how the business works, learning how to win. And it's not always not as innocent as Donald thought it was. There are things he's like, this is illegal, I didn't know you could do this, but really you can't. It proved to Donald that you have to lie to win. You have to cheat to win. You have to break the law to win. That is what this guy is teaching Donald. And Donald just literally is downloading. He's going through a lot of downloads with all this stuff because he does use it in the future. It's almost like the origin of Anakin Skywalker and Palpatine teaching Anakin his ways. This is where Anakin becomes Darth Vader. Very much this sort of scenario with Roy Cohn and Donald Trump. I was very impressed with this movie. I love the ratio of this movie, how it's got bars on it, and it's very old-fashioned. There are moments where it felt like it was literally from the 80s and 70s. It felt very vintage. I felt like I was watching a VHS tape when I watched this movie. I love that. Jeremy Strong absolutely steals this movie. Every scene he's in, he is the power force of this movie, man. He is fantastic as Roy Cohn. Every scene he's in, electric. And I really do think Sebastian Stan plays a very honest, and people will compare and say, look, he doesn't sound like Donald Trump. He doesn't talk like Donald Trump. It's very hard when you play someone as well known as Donald, and you are literally going to be compared with how he talks and his mannerisms. If he were to completely do the conversation as Donald, it would feel like a Saturday Night Live skit where it would just be him having a go at him and be completely, you just wouldn't take him serious and you just keep laughing. So he has to play it in a more grounded manner, and he does that really well. And it almost is an origin of him becoming the Donald Trump that we know. So at the start, he is different. He's learning. He's youthful. He's not the Donald Trump that we know yet. But as the movie goes on, you start to begin to see the traits of who he becomes. And he does it well. It grows on you, and it starts to blend in and carve in at certain points where you start to see him change and start to see him become the Donald Trump that we know. He starts to do the mannerisms. He starts to do the voice. He starts to do the hand gestures. It's slowly starting to become the Donald that we know. And I don't know how accurate this movie is. Donald Trump has actually come out and said how inaccurate this movie is, how everything was not right. But usually when it comes to Donald saying something like that, there's something obviously about this movie that has to be accurate. I mean, Donald will deny something that he clearly will be like, no, that didn't happen. But in reality, it probably did. However, this is a really good movie. Definitely worthy of Oscar nominations. I really enjoyed it. 9.5 out of 10.
Look at yourself, you're getting ugly.
Don't you forget, I made you.
We have a brand new campaign slogan. Let's make America great again.
Well, I like the again part.